Well. I guess Trump and JD Vance are having a terrible week, right? They get rejected by Iran, been rejected by Iran. Uh, Donald Trump says some scary stuff on Truth Social. He's just been ranting. He's just been spiraling all week, right? First, it was the Easter rant. Then it was another Tuesday rant. Then it was another rant this week about MAGA influencers. Just a terrible week all around for this president, right? And here's the thing, the beautiful thing of it is, and I almost wish I wouldn't have to say that, it was almost like it was meant for Kamala, not to win. You see, because America needed to see how bad it could get. America needed to see just how bad it could get if you elected this person. Because we, as the people who couldn't stand Trump, didn't want to deal with Trump, didn't want to deal with anything he had to say, knew it could be bad, but we didn't know it was going to be this bad. We didn't know that. I mean, and people say, well, how's it bad? This turned out, because somebody earlier this week was telling me, oh, we're winning. We got a what is it called? There was a 2-week peace deal. And I was like, ain't no peace, ain't no ceasefire. What you talking about? You ain't winning. The president ain't winning nowhere. It ain't no ceasefire because them Iranian people got the American people over a barrel. There ain't no winning. Ain't no ceasefire. They don't need to ceasefire. They don't need to do nothing. That's all they need to do is exist. And then they win. Because they are in control of the Strait of Hormuz. And they're going to stay that way. Because this president went in and thought he was going to bing, bang, boom, and then these people were going to capitulate. And they said, oh, hell no. It's on like popcorn. So there has not been no win for this president at all. Gas prices are high. Food is high. People are disgusted. People don't lost jobs. People got to find work. Don't make enough money to pay rent. There ain't no winning to this scenario, and we knew it was going to be this way. That's why I say to a certain extent, Kamala had to lose in order for us to understand what we really had on the plate, what we really had on the table, what good we had going forward. People always say, well, Biden was a terrible person. No, he wasn't. Biden, and I said to people, Biden got us out of a ditch. Donald Trump and the COVID drove us into the ditch, and Biden got us out of the ditch. Biden got us back on the road, not rolling like we was at 65, 70 miles per hour, but he got us rolling on the road enough where we could make it to a gas station. We could do something in order to fix what was going on. And that's where Biden is. And that's the way I will always look at Biden. One of the most substantial presidents that we had. He was a critical president because we needed him, right? So people don't understand that when I say Republicans always start a war, crash the economy, and do tax cuts. Every last Republican president has done that. And this is where we are. Except we have a president who actually doesn't care about the American people, actually doesn't care about putting us on the right path, actually doesn't care about what happens to the American people, because he has his legacy, his money, his whatever. He has all the things that he needs. So he doesn't care about the American people. And most people are saying that. We saw that. We knew that. We knew that before we elected him. And people say, well, we would have got in a worse situation if Pamela would have been hired. How? How? If she would have been elected, how? She wouldn't have got us into these wars. She would have been just like Biden and Obama and said, hell no. Bibi Netanyahu, hell no, we ain't starting no fight with Iran. She would have said that. She would have listened to her advisors. She would have listened to the people who it's their job to mitigate risk, figure out what the risk is to go to war, figure out what kind of threat Iran was, would have figured out the Strait of Hormuz problem. She would have listened to those advisors. We wouldn't have been in this war. She wouldn't have did the tariffs that crashed our economy. She wouldn't be doubling down on this Christian white nationalism that is a killer to this country. She would have done immigration, but she wouldn't have did it to the point where 2 people died, 3 people, 4 people died on camera. And that alone makes her be a better candidate. So people keep saying, well, we wouldn't have been better off. Yes, we would have. And we needed to not hire Kamala just to see that. I'm good. I'm good with telling y'all I told y'all so. I'm good with that. But see, here's the thing. You all did a lot of harm. You MAGA people did a lot of harm to us. And this is not a Democrat or Republican thing. This is a moral thing. And I tell you why it's a moral thing. The damage that you have done to this country by hiring Donald Trump. And we are where we are with this administration, bumbling around in the dark with their pants down around their ankles, not knowing what to do. This is where we at. And we have Republicans staying by letting this happen. This is where we at. And I tell you why. It was a moral thing. This is why you all lost family, friends, co-workers, you name it. This is why you MAGA people have lost people in your family, relationships, X, Y, and Z. This is why nobody wants to go near you with a 10-foot pole. I'll tell you why. It's really, really, really quite simple. Republicans believe in the dehumanization of other people. And we as Democrats just can't get behind that. It's a moral thing. We argue that your rhetoric relies on targeting vulnerable groups, which is an inherently immoral thing to begin with. Marginalized groups. You don't believe trans should exist. You don't believe gay people should exist. You don't believe a woman has a right to choose over her own body, whether she can have an abortion or not. You don't believe that people are as important as what you think or feel. I wanted to bring racism in there, but I don't need to bring that in there because that's inherently something y'all believe. Policies or language regarding the immigrants, LGBT community, racial minorities. This is cruelty. And it's a moral thing to us. When you lack empathy, when a political movement is seen as prioritizing winning over the well-being of people outside of its base, outside of its race, that's a basic lack of human empathy. We really saw the division when Alex Preddy and Renee Good got killed. Every person that was on the right, damn near every person on the right, believed that they deserved what they got. See, it's a moral thing. A moral vacuum where tribalism replaces the golden rule with you guys. Oh, and he shouldn't have had a gun, but yet and still, when it's okay and it's convenient for your side to have a gun, it's okay. But it wasn't okay for Alex Preddy to have a gun. We point to a moral failure inconsistency. Donald Trump has no character and no moral value. Yet you have the Christian right nationalists voting for him in droves. What part of what he's doing is moral or Christian value like or anything like that? It's the hypocrisy. So you lack a moral foundation, you lack a moral compass when you vote for a person like that, and they obviously are against everything that you believe in the Bible. That's what we look at. That's how we look at that. Because when you don't, and you seem as though people, you guys are an existential threat. You guys are an existential threat to regular, ordinary folks that are not like you. Okay? Because you don't worry about what kind of policy steals the dignity of a person, the rights of a person. It's what you want, and it's what you think should be the right way. A trans person has the right to live and breathe just like everybody. A gay person has the right to live and breathe. A black person has the right to live and breathe. Immigrants also have to have their due process. And we saw that divide with this president. This president came down the escalator and said Mexicans, Hispanics, whatever, are poisoning the blood of our country. And you guys ran with that. You guys say, yeah, I believe the immigrants. I believe it. Even though those are human beings too. And it's a civil infraction and not a criminal infraction. You treated it like criminals and you thought it was okay. Every one of y'all thought it was okay to throw those people in places like Alligator Alcatraz and treat them like human dirt, even though they committed a civil infraction, not a criminal infraction. This president continues to lie, continues to lie, will breathe a lie, and you will turn around and question, Biden did it. He ain't in them Epstein files, even though we told you he in there 30-some thousand times. He in there, y'all don't believe it. So it's a moral thing. It's a different moral code. You just built differently than we are. You just built differently, and we just don't want to tolerate it. We don't like you like that. We don't want to be in your presence like that because of the things that you have allowed this president to do. You've given him permission to be prejudiced. You've given him permission to denigrate a whole nother race, a whole nother gathering of people, a whole nother group of other people. You've allowed that to happen without saying a word, without missing a beat. Even now, I have people in the comment section talking to me about Melania Trump didn't do nothing. She ain't did nothing, even though she was a paid escort, according to some. Paid escort. Paid sugar baby. Messed with Donald Trump while he was married to another woman, Marla Maples. Was fooling around with him before that event. She's this morally upstanding person. See, it's a moral thing with us. We're not saying we the best and we got the best morals, but we do not do the hypocrite thing. The hypocrite thing. You know the hypocrite thing where you try to call out Joe Biden for the same shit that Donald Trump has done, and Donald Trump has done way worse. But what really gets us is the not letting people live or breathe and be who they want to be when they want to be it. And because your side is trying to put laws in place, stopgaps in place, things in place to nullify people's existence. And we don't believe in that. It's embarrassing that we have people in our country that go against the fundamental values that we started this country on, that diversity is our strength. So I say this week has been a catastrophic failure for the president, for the MAGA side, president attacking MAGA, his supporters, big supporters, regular, ordinary people. Donald Trump is showing his ass. If you can't see it, then you're in a cult. You're a zombie if you can't see it. But that's okay. That's okay. We don't need you to be on our side because we're not going to forgive you. We're not going to forgive what happened to Alex Preddy and Renee Good. We're not going to forgive the things that you all tried to do to Michelle and Barack Obama. We're not going to forget the things that you tried to do to the immigrants, illegal immigrants, regular immigrants, legal immigrants. We're not going to Alligator Alcatraz. We're not going to forgive those things because we can't. We can't forget that you were on the wrong side of the fight. We can't forgive you because you sided with that president And that president tried to destroy this country. That's fundamentally what he tried to do. What he's trying to do is destroy the country. And now when we need unity now more than ever, we don't care whether you join our side. We have enough people on our side to stop him. And that's what we plan to do. So the L's that they're taking this week, they deserve to have these L's. The president thought, I'm just going to go over there and bomb, and then it's going to be okay. Why do you think other presidents didn't do it? Why do you think Obama didn't go over there and bomb? Why do you think Biden didn't go? Because the the international people, international whoever, told him that that wasn't a feasible idea, but he did it anyway. Now this is where we at. And you supported that. You supported that. Let me finish this by saying, if you vote for a policy that strips a person of their rights or their dignity, it's just not about politics, because people think it's just about politics. It's not just about politics. It's a reflection of your internal moral compass to us. This makes the disagreement feel personal. When you try to strip away the rights of a trans person, a gay person, a person of color, an immigrant, or when you do that, that's a moral value. That's your moral compass, saying somebody else doesn't deserve the same rights as you. Okay? This is why this disagreement is a fundamental difference between the Democrat and the Republican. That's why a lot of Democrats have walked away from people that they were related to who were Republicans and MAGA and X, Y, and Z. It's a fundamentally moral thing. And I don't see why you don't see it, but that's okay. It's okay. You don't need to see it. You don't need to see it. You just need to look around your world and find out whether people believe the things that you believe, or you just believe whatever somebody tells you to believe, or how you believe. No, I don't believe in taking people's rights away from them. And when you do, that puts you on the other side of me, and that means I look at you funny or sideways. And most people do. It just is the way it is, okay? It is the way it is. We shouldn't be taking people's rights away. That's the way we feel as Democrats. Put what you think in the comment section. And I'll see you in the next one.